Hello students, today we'll see the second unit in history, that is from trade to territory. We'll see the introduction part now. In the 15th century, Europe witnessed an era of geographical discoveries through land and sea routes. In 1498, Vasco da Gama of Portugal discovered a new sea route from Europe to India. So this we have learned in the previous lesson, that is Vasco da Gama who found a sea route to India. The main motive behind those discoveries was to maximize profit through trade and to establish political supremacy. So what is the motive behind this discoveries? They want to maximize their profit. The rule of East India Company in India became effective after the conquest of Bengal. The main interest of the company in India was territorial and commercial expansions. So the European people came to India, right? And also they started a company which is known as East India Company. So this became effective after the conquest of Bengal. The next heading is Establishment of Political Power by the English East India Company. So the first event is Battle of Plassey, which happens in the year of 1757. Alivardi Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, died in 1756 and his grandson, whose name is Siraj ud Dowlah, ascended the throne of Bengal. So Alivardi Khan is the Nawab of Bengal and he died in the year of 1756. So his grandson came to the position of Alivardi Khan, that is the throne of Bengal. His name is Siraj ud Dowlah. The British, taking advantage of the new Nawab's weakness and unpopularity, seized power. So British taking advantage of the new Nawab. So Siraj ud Dowlah decided to teach them a lesson by attacking over their political settlement of Calcutta. So the Nawab captured their factory at Kazim Bazar. So what he is doing, Siraj ud Dowlah decided to teach a lesson to them by attacking the political settlement of Calcutta. So he captured their factory at Kazim Bazar on 28 June 1756. Fort William surrendered, but Robert Clive recovered Calcutta from this Nawab of Bengal. On 9th February 1757, Treaty of Alinagar was signed, whereby Siraj ud Dowlah conceded practically all his claims. Now we'll see about the Black Hole tragedy, which happens in the year of 1756. There was a small dungeon room in the Fort William in Calcutta, where troops of the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj ud Dowlah, held 146 British prisoners of war for one night. Next day morning, when the door was opened, 123 of the prisoners found dead because of suffocation. So what the Bengal of Nawab is doing? So there was a small dungeon room which is located in the Fort William in Calcutta. So 146 British prisoners were dumped in the room for one night by Siraj ud Dowlah. When the next day morning the door was opened, among them 123 of the prisoners found dead because of suffocation. Suffocation means difficult to breathe. British then captured Chandranagur, the French settlement, on March 1757. The Battle of Plassey took place between the British East India Company and the Nawab of Bengal and his French allies. So the Battle of Plassey happens between three peoples. They are British East India Company, Nawab of Bengal and his French allies. It was fought on 23 June 1757. The English East India Company's forces under Robert Clive defeated the forces of Siraj ud Dowlah. After the collapse of Bengal, the company gained a huge amount of wealth from the Bengal. So in Battle of Plassey, Siraj ud Dowlah, who is the Nawab of Bengal, was defeated by Robert Clive. So after the collapse of Bengal, the company gained a huge amount of wealth from the Bengal. So the British gained a huge amount from Bengal to strengthen its military force. The beginning of the British political sway over India may be traced from the Battle of Plassey. It was the most decisive battle that marked the initiation of British rule in India for the next 2 centuries. So this is the initial motive of British. So after this, British continued to rule India for the next 2 centuries. The next heading is Battle of Buxar. So till now we have learned about Battle of Plassey. This is Battle of Buxar, which happens in the year of 1764. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, the company was granted undisputed right to have free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So they win in the Battle of Plassey, right? The British win in the Battle of Plassey. So they was granted an undisputed right. அப்படினா மறுக்க முடியாதது. Undisputed means மறுக்க முடியாதது. Right to have free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. It received the place of 24 Parganas in Bengal. Mir Jafar, the Nawab of Bengal, however fell into arrears and was forced to abdicate in favor of his son-in-law Mir Qasim. So the British people forced Mir Jafar to leave the throne and his son-in-law Mir Qasim be the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim ceded Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong. He shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger. So Mir Qasim given few places like Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong to British, and also he shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger. Mir Qasim soon revolted as he was angry with the British for misusing the estates, for misusing the free duty passes given to British. However, having been defeated by the British, he fled to Awadh, where he formed a confederacy with Shuja Udawla and Shah Alam II. So what he is doing, he is defeated by the British and he went to Awadh, and there he formed a confederacy. Confederacy is nothing but a tie-up with Shuja Udawla and Shah Alam II. The battle was fought on October 22, 1764 at Buxar. Buxar is a small fortified town within the territory of Bihar, which is located on the banks of the Ganges river about 130 kilometers west of Patna. So Buxar is a small fortified town which is located in Patna. It was a decisive victory for the British East India Company. Shuja Udawla, Shah Alam II and Mir Qasim were defeated by General Hector Munro. So these 3 peoples were defeated by British, and this was a decisive victory for the East India Company. Mir Jafar was again placed on the throne. On Mir Jafar's death, his son Nizam Udawla was placed on the throne and signed Allahabad Treaty on 28th February. So after this, after British defeated these 3 peoples, Mir Jafar came to throne. So on his death, his son Nizam Udawla was placed on the throne and he signed the Allahabad Treaty on 20th February. So what the Allahabad Treaty says that the Nawab had to disband most of his army and to administer Bengal through a deputy Subedar nominated by the company. Robert Clive concluded 2 separate treaties with Shuja Udawla and Shah Alam II. Dual system of government started in Bengal. So the Bengal Nawab want to dissolve most of his army and he want to administer Bengal through the deputy Subedar who is nominated by the company. So the British concluded with 2 separate treaties with Shuja Udawla and Shah Alam II. Dual system of government started in Bengal. So Robert Clive started the dual system of government in Bengal. The next heading is Carnatic Wars. In the 18th century, Three Carnatic wars were fought between various Indian rulers, British and French East Indian Company on either side. So the Carnatic wars happened between Indian rulers, British and French. Traditionally, Britain and France were rival countries in Europe. So rival countries is nothing but there will be a competition between these two countries. Their rivalry continued in India over trade and territories. So it is still continued. It resulted in a series of military conflicts in the south, which is known as the Carnatic Wars, which spanned from 1746 to 1763. So this war happened between 1746 to 1763. These wars resulted in establishment of political supremacy of British East Indian Company. So three Carnatic wars are there. So the first one starts in the year of 1746 to 48, and second Carnatic war is 49 to 54. Third one is 56 to 63. First Carnatic War 1746 to 48. On the outbreak of the Austrian War of Succession in Europe, the English and the French were on opposite camps, increased the hostility between these two forces. The echo of this war was felt in India. So in the Austrian war, the English and the French were on opposite camps. So this increased the hostility between these two forces, and this is continued in India too. Battle of Adayar 1746. The first Carnatic War is remembered for the Battle of Santom, that is Madras, fought between the French forces and the forces of Anwar Uddin, the Nawab of Carnatic, who appealed the British for help. So the first Carnatic War has happened between French forces and the Carnatic Nawab. So Carnatic Nawab appealed the British for help. A small French army under Captain Paradise defeated the strong Indian army under Mahfuz Khan at Santom on the banks of the river Adayar. So Mahfuz Khan is defeated by the French captain. His name is Paradise. This was the first occasion when the superiority of the well-trained and well-equipped European army over the Indian army was proved beyond doubt. So this victory proved that the Europeans are well-trained and they are well-equipped. Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in 1748. The war was ended by the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, which brought the Austrian War of Succession to an end. Under the terms of this treaty, Madras was returned back to the English, and the French in turn got their territories in North America. So Madras was occupied by the French, right? So after this Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, Madras has returned back to English, and French got their territories in North America. Second Carnatic War 1749 to 1754. The main cause of this war was the issue of succession in Carnatic and Hyderabad. Anwaruddin Khan and Chanda Sahib were the two claimants to the throne of Carnatic, whereas Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung were claimants to the throne of Hyderabad. So there is a competition between these two people, that who was want to be the throne of Carnatic. And also Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung were fighting for the throne of Hyderabad. The French supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung. So the French people supported the Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung, while the British supported the other two peoples, that is Anwaruddin and Nasir, with the objective of keeping their interest and influence in the entire Deccan region. So this is the main reason for the Second Carnatic War, that is issue of succession. The next heading is Battle of Ambur 1747. Finally, Dupleix, Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung formed a grand alliance and defeated and killed Anwaruddin Khan, the Nawab of Carnatic, on 3rd August 1749 in the Battle of Ambur. So, the French supported the Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung, right? So, these two people along with Dupleix, they formed a gang and they defeated and killed Anwaruddin Khan, who is the Nawab of Carnatic. Muhammad Ali, the son of Anwaruddin, fled to Trichinopoly, that is Tiruchirappalli. Chanda Sahib became the Nawab of Carnatic and rewarded the French with a grant of 80 villages around Pondicherry. So, Muhammad Ali, who is the son of Anwaruddin Khan, he fled to Tiruchirappalli. And also Chanda Sahib became the Nawab of Carnatic. He gave 80 villages around Pondicherry to French people. In Deccan too, the French defeated and killed Nasir Jung and made Muzaffar Jung as the Nizam. So, the French people supported the Muzaffar Jung and the Chanda Sahib, right? So, Nasir Jung is also killed and defeated. The new Nizam gave ample rewards to the French. He appointed Dupleix as the governor of all the territories in the south of the river Krishna. Muzaffar Jung was assassinated by his own people in 1751. Assassinated is nothing but killed. So, Muzaffar Jung is killed by his own people in 1751. Salabat Jung, brother of Nasir Jung, was raised to the throne by Bussy. So, after the death of Muzaffar Jung, Salabat Jung, he is the brother of Nasir Jung. So, Nasir Jung is killed by the French people, right? So, his brother Salabat Jung was raised to the throne by Bussy. Salabat Jung granted the northern Sirkars, excluding the Guntur district, to the French. So, he gave the northern Sirkars to the French people except Guntur district. So, through this, Dupleix power was at its zenith by that time. So, Dupleix power came to a great extent during that time.